Hello and welcome to the weather update. It's 10 o'clock on September 20th, 2023. And another day with some sunshine. We did have a few more clouds around as far as high clouds go. Kind of started off with some high clouds and contrails this morning. But then skies cleared out in the afternoon, and we just had a few pop-up cumulus clouds around. So we did have some blue skies today. We can look here. I was in the pines again, just a little bit in Pine Lawn. Tomorrow we're going to do a bigger hike, hopefully, if things work out. Was a little bit of haze in the sky, though. It's what the sky looked like. I noticed a little bit of haze. You'll see it right there in this picture, a little bit. So let's go look at the MODIS satellite here. Oh, yeah, we already looked at the MODIS satellite. So let's go look at our current conditions outside right now. And you can see they have a high surf advisory. And there was a high surf advisory in effect for us, too. It's not showing up on the map, or it's a rip current statement, but we're seeing a lot of, high water, so we'll get to that in a moment. But let's talk about what we got going outside right now. Kind of mild tonight here in Nassau County. Well, I had the conditions up here. It kind of just disappeared again on us. You got to love this site for that. But, it's 64, 68 at JFK, so that's 72 at LaGuardia, so it's sort of like got a west-southwest wind. But if you're out in the more rural area, you're enjoying, you got 61 at Islip, 56 at Shirley, and 52 at West Hampton. So, yeah, much better there. Islip, 61. You notice, though, there's that west-southwest wind, so that helps keep the temperatures up in Nassau County because the wind is coming off the city, and that, therefore, makes it warmer here. So let's take a look, show you what the day was like at Islip. Islip, you'll see here, generally in the mid-70s today. Low dew points, but when the winds went west-southwest a little bit this evening, almost like a little bit of a sea breeze, it brought the moisture back up, so dew points are back up to the upper 50s. But all in all, another nice day across the area. Let's look at our highs and lows. We'll go to that. Our highs across the area, you can see low to mid-70s, generally mid-70s. Low 70s out east on the Forks, mid-70s to the city, and yeah, even some upper 70s in New Jersey. Looking at the lows, 43 at West Hampton. Wow, so that's amazing. That's some amazing radiational cooling. That was pretty cool here in Nassau County, too. We had lows in the mid-50s, 52 at Islip, 54 at Farmingdale. The city was 61, and then we also got some 40s also in the New Jersey Pine Barrens as well. 43 at Coyle Field, so it's just the same as West Hampton. The same kind of those Coyle Field and West Hampton are both in their respective dwarf pine barrens. So West Hampton's in the dwarf pine barrens of Long Island, and Coyle Field is in the dwarf pine barrens of New Jersey. So that's why they both get really, really cold at night. So let's go to our statistics for the day. So unfortunately, I gotta have my air conditioner on because it's kind of warm here in the alley. It's ridiculous. Most people don't, but here I have to have it on. 74 degrees was the high at Islip. That's right at normal. The low 52 is 6 degrees below normal, and that puts us 3 degrees below normal for the day at Islip, mainly because of the low. Central Park, 74, only 1 degree below normal, and Central Park was 2 degrees below normal for the day, as far as temperatures go. So, again, a little bit below normal, but fairly close to average, at least for the highs. At night, getting some good radiational cooling, so that kind of puts us below average. So let's talk about Hurricane Nigel. And, yes, they're already watching this disturbance here. They're saying a non-tropical low. This could acquire some subtropical characters on Friday while it moves generally northward. This low is likely to bring gusty winds to gale force, heavy rain, and high surf to portions of the southeast and mid-Atlantic United States late this week and into the weekend. This is they're thinking it's going to be some type of hybrid storm. Let's talk about Hurricane Nigel here, and here's the track. It looks like they have it heading toward Iceland now, in some form. Latest public advisory on Nigel is moving north-northeastward. At 5 p.m., the center of Hurricane Nigel is located near latitude 37.4 north, longitude 53.0 west. Nigel is moving to the north-northeast at 18 miles an hour. And the minimum central pressure, the maximum sustained winds are 90 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure, 973 millibars, 28.74 inches. And Nigel is forecast to become post-tropical by Friday. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 60 miles from the center. Tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 160 miles from the center. Let's take a look at what Nigel looks like here on the satellite. And again, let's look at this is the satellite for us, for our area. You can see again, almost a little bit of smoke, but that's way up there. So let's take a look at Nigel here. And you can see, again, it's got that big eye still blowing up. Still, that's another blow up of convection right there. It's amazing how far north it is, and it's still going. That's what's incredible about this thing. I mean, that's really incredible to see. So it's still going. Let's take a look at what Nigel looks like on the visual satellite here. And this is Nigel on the visual satellite. And there, again, is that big eye. We can put that eye right over there. I'll move this over here a little bit so you can see here. That eye, if we put that in there, that's almost 40-mile wide eye. And the storm is actually, it's weird to see a big eye, and then the storm itself isn't as big as Lee. But still, really impressive to see. Look at how far north this thing is. I mean, that's incredible to see a huge storm like that far north. But that's because, again, all that warm water that we have, and Nigel will probably still be a hurricane tomorrow, even if the Hurricane Center. I think it's going to be a hurricane for at least a couple more days. Looking north, you can see it looks like there's some smoke well into Canada here. A lot of smoke in Canada going into the Arctic from these wildfires that are still going here in British Columbia, Alberta. Luckily, things have quieted down in the Northwest Territories, but we still have these active wildfires going on. It's really incredible to see all the smoke that they're generating. A little bit of that smoke looks like it's coming down into maybe the real North Dakota. But other than that, not seeing much smoke out there, though I did notice a little bit of haze in the sky today. For whatever reason, it was a little something there. Not as deep blue as it really should be, considering. So let's go take a look at another image of the situation with Nigel here, and I'm just not gonna spend too much time on this, but let's go to U.S. Atlantic coast. Do we have GLM? No, Nigel's not going to show up in that one. I want to just look at. We'll do Northern Atlantic here. Yeah, let's see. See if there's any lightning around the center. I don't see any, but this is Nigel here, and again, it's moving. It's just incredible to see a storm that intense, that far north. It really is something to see. But when you take a look at the water temperatures in this area, you'll understand why. If we go to the Earth Null School site, here's where Nigel is right here. So you see where it is. We can look at the sea surface temperature anomalies here. And you'll see, yeah, pretty bright yellows, bright reds here and yellows. So we're still talking 5 degrees above normal water temperatures there in that spot. And the actual sea surface temperature in this area is close to 80 degrees. So, yeah, there you go. Close to 80 degrees. Move this over if you don't see that. But, yeah, close to 80 degrees. That's really warm for that far north. But we won't have to worry about Nigel. Nigel's not going to be an issue for us. This is, again, look at Nigel here on the enhanced infrared. You can see there's that blow-up I was talking about. So it's amazing that far north to see such an intense storm. And if we go look at the models here, Iceland. Iceland could get this. And I don't think that's ever happened before. It's possible it could go to Iceland or it could go to the United Kingdom. So let's, but I don't really focus on too much on that because that's not going to affect us. What we have to watch off the southeast coast is going to affect us. So let's take a look at that. We'll go to the eastern U.S. view here on the 18Z GFS. So fair weather continues tomorrow. On Friday, we're going to have the clouds increasing. And then here is this really intense storm here. I don't understand why this is obviously going to be a tropical system. Why they say nor'easter. It's going to be a tropical system. All right? I don't know what the O-name storm is, but this is going to be the O-name storm. Let's just put 2023 tropical storm names. All right? This should give us all the names here. Names. Let's see. Should be a list of names. So here we go. All right. So this storm is going to be Ophelia. Yeah. That's what I thought. It was going to be Ophelia. So I think this is going to be Ophelia that we're looking at. And, this is the thing that we have to watch out for now is homegrown storms. I mean, maybe you don't even get one off the Cape Verde. You get one off the southeast coast that can ride up the coast. So you can see this is going to be really bad for North Carolina. And then you'll see we get to the rain. The GFS is kind of letting up a little bit on the rain, though, keeping the heaviest stuff a little bit to the south. You see, this is Ophelia here coming inland. And it generally goes straight inland, and then the remnants of it kind of sit over us. Sunday into Monday, perhaps. And Tuesday, this is the GFS solution again. But this is if we look at the jet stream here, this is why we have this situation, because basically it just gets cut off. The jet stream's just basically just not even around to move this thing. So again, we have a weaker than normal jet stream because of climate change, and this is why we see these unusual things, and the models don't know what to do with this. All right, let's look at the Icon model, which is the next one. And the Icon also bringing rain in here Saturday. The Icon takes it up the coast. You can see they're all over the place. The Icon is now wetter, and it kind of just takes it due east like that. Let's look at the European now. Here's the European. The European, you notice here, kind of has it going off to the right a little bit. So we get into the rain Saturday, and then it kind of goes off to the right a little bit here. And if we looked at the 12Z European, you can see it kind of has it suppressed. So the European wants to keep having this kind of more of in a suppressed way. And now the GFS is having that sort of suppressed look a little bit. So it's very hard to predict what the models can't handle because the jet stream is not. The jet stream is basically dysfunctional, and the models don't know where this thing's going to go because the jet stream is dysfunctional. And that's the problem. So let's go to the HRRR first. All right, this is the 0Z HRRR we'll look at. Obviously, dry tomorrow, dry through Friday. You can see here's what you're starting to see it appear on the HRRR here, right here, right? And if we go further south, I'm sure we can change this to southeast. No, not eastern U.S. Southeast U.S. You get an idea, just showing you the storm here forming. You can see that has a very tropical structure, and it gets deep fast. You can remember, the water temperatures here are above 80 degrees. Again, let's go to Earth Null School. I'll show you. So I don't know why the Hurricane Center is saying this is going to be an extra tropical or a hybrid storm. This is going to be a tropical storm. I don't agree with them. All right, we have above normal water temperatures here. See that yellow right there? That's above normal. All right? And the water temperatures here, it's running about almost 5 degrees Fahrenheit above normal. If you look at the sea surface temperature, 85 degrees in this spot. All right, so don't tell me that's not going to be a tropical system. And the thing is, this is the threat. Imagine if you have a storm form here, and let's say it just goes right up the coast and slams into us. It might even be a hurricane. You just don't know. With climate change, you just don't know. Everybody underestimates how bad things can get. All right? They really do, and I'm tired of it. Even the Hurricane Center. I mean, everybody in the government wants to downplay the seriousness of the climate crisis, and I'm really tired of it. I'm sorry I have to sound off in this video, in the weather update, but, it's ridiculous. All right? I mean, it's going to have a lot of tropical characteristics, and I think this is going to be Ophelia. I'm going to say it right here. This is going to be Ophelia. All right? So you get an idea of what's forming there over the southeast, all right? And we can also look at the wind field, too. That's a pretty substantial wind field you got there. And that's going to pile up the water, too. So let's go to the dew points. This is what I mean. It's tropical. You don't see any dry air in it. The humidity it's warm and humid all around the center. That's a tropical storm. I don't understand why everybody's downplaying this thing. I just don't understand. Oh, it's just going to be a coastal. No, it's going to be a tropical storm. All right, so let's go to the... All right, looking at the dew points for us here, so we'll go to that. You'll see we have the winds becoming north tomorrow. They'll be north, then becoming northeast. We're going to have a little bit of a southeasterly wind in the late afternoon, evening hours. Then the winds become easterly. And then Friday, we're going to have the easterly flow here, and that's going to help. I think we're going to already see. I've already heard that there's been some flooding at Jones Beach already, so things are going to get a lot worse when come Friday. You can see the easterly winds here, staying in in the dry air for now. All right, temperatures. Tomorrow, we're going to probably struggle to reach the low 70s. Tomorrow, I think it's going to wind up being cooler with that north wind. Tomorrow night, it's going to be very cool, probably 50s and 40s in the Pine Barrens. And then for Friday, with the increasing clouds and the easterly wind, probably a high of only in the upper 60s to around 70. All right, we'll do. Excuse me. So, we don't have enough of the models in to really show the storm as it moves into our area, per se. We do have the NAM 12, which I can go look at. Actually, 32. Nah, that's not going to be enough. I'm not going to show it. We're going to have more information tomorrow on how it's going to affect our area, I think. Let's talk about the clouds. Just use one model for the clouds at this point. So, should be mostly clear tomorrow, though. You'll probably notice some cirrus coming in toward later in the afternoon here. There is some disagreement in the models, and there you go. It actually has a very tropical look to it, and we're going to see those type of tropical cirrus clouds in the sky on Friday probably coming in. And then here's Saturday, obviously with the clouds. And then, again, this is the RGEM. Actually, the RGEM does go out, so we can kind of give you an idea of what's going to happen. And again, look at how tight that thing is. There's going to be a lot of wind with this and some really heavy rain Saturday. This is, again, the RGEM. If you look at the GFS, you'll see how it kind of keeps a lot of the heavier rain south, and that's the other thing here. So you have that amount. So, but still, I think we're going to see. So if we go look at the total accumulated rainfall here for the weekend, you can see it's not painting those purples over us anymore. If we look at the European, it's not. It's showing maybe between 1 and 2 inches. So the European is backing off a little bit on the heavy rain, but again, we just don't know yet. It's just too early to know where exactly this thing is going to go. It's going to affect us. That is a certainty. We're going to definitely see that. Let's look at our waves. Significant wave height, because this is the other concern that we have. Not tomorrow, it's already going to start picking up. Friday, I think we're going to start seeing it pick up, and then look at those reds moving into the Jersey Shore on Saturday, and perhaps into Jones Beach. The South Shore of Long Island, and the Mid-Atlantic also going to have to deal with some storm surge flooding Sunday as well. And even Monday, you'll see the waves will continue to be an issue. This is the GFS here, all right? So I have my concerns about that. We'll show you the cloud cover on the GFS because there's a bit of a disagreement. Well, no, tomorrow, this is the cloud cover. I think the cirrus should stay away. Long Island, New Jersey, you're going to see it probably by the early afternoon, but I think Long Island, we should have clear skies. But then as we get into Friday, that's when we'll have that cloud deck move in. And obviously, we probably won't see the sun Saturday or Sunday or even Monday. This thing's just going to cut off and kind of get stuck, basically. Because, again, there's no jet stream anymore. So that's something you've got to wrap your head around. The jet stream barely exists anymore. So that's something that I urge everybody to really take to heart as to how serious this climate crisis is. Even the chairman of the UN said it, and he kind of scolded us and a bunch of other countries for not realizing it, because we are in some deep, deep crap. So anyway, speaking of that, let's go and visualize the storm a little more, and we're going to go to Venture Sky for that. And we'll take you down to the south, and this is the HRRR plus icon model, and just give you an idea of how strong this storm is going to be. So let's move this along to Friday. Here's your storm right here. And you can see how it really wraps up. In fact, you look at that. There's an eye there. This is a tropical storm. This is going to be Ophelia. You can see, look at these wind gusts. Who knows, man? It might even become a hurricane, perhaps. Look at some of these wind gusts here, all right? All right, this is going to be damaging for the Outer Banks and North Carolina. Here we are moving this area Friday night. All right. Saturday, let's move this over to Saturday here when it gets closer to our area, because now we're going to have to worry. This is what things could look like Saturday morning here. This is the icon model. All right. And you see, look at that, 50-mile-an-hour gusts coming to the shore here. This is going to be a big problem. It keeps most of the worst winds off over the waters, but look at the 62-mile-an-hour gusts. The Jersey Shore is really going to get hammered with some big waves. I mean, and even the gusts inland, 35, 36, is going to be scattered power outages. I mean, look, when Isaias was coming up, everybody underestimated that. I think everybody's underestimating this storm. We can have a few more. We can look at the GFS as well here. So let's look at the GFS. That's an eye right there. This is a tropical storm. Why does the Hurricane Center not want to put this in as a tropical storm is beyond me. There's the eye right there. So look at the visualization of the GFS here. And we all know that this could be stronger than forecasts. All right? The other issue, of course, is the waves. So I have to put this back to default here for that. I'll go to that automatic here. Back there, automatic. Go to waves because, again, you're going to have some really high surf, and that's going to be a big problem. So this is the waves here. Again, you're going to have coming into the Carolinas here, all right? Move this on to Saturday because this is when we're going to get affected, and it gets worse for us. Look at this, 15 feet here. There's going to be a lot of coastal flooding. I mean, I'm already hearing people saying that Jones Beach is underwater again, even though they put, like, berms up or whatever. So we may have to go to Jones Beach on Friday or something before this thing comes because it's you can see, look at these waves here. I mean, this is going to be a big problem for Jersey Shore. I mean, these are some big waves for us that we're going to have to deal with, all right? Friday, it won't be too crazy yet, all right? But Saturday is when it gets crazy. And this is, again, is the significant wave height model from the Icon model. We'll go to the windy.com model, which is our next model we can look at here. All right. And let's go to that, and we will look at the effects of the waves on this system as well. So windy.com, you can see this is the area that's getting affected right here. Some pretty big waves there, 13 feet up. We move this to Saturday here, and that moves into our area. So here we are Saturday. Look at this. So this is going to be bad. There's going to be some big waves again coming in. 9-foot waves here. Huge waves coming in at the beach. Huge waves. All right, and then even as we move to Sunday, we're still going to deal with that elevated surf. All right. So this is the concern we have. And then we move this to the wind. Go to wind gusts here. Even the euro keeps it, even if the euro keeps it offshore, we're still going to have wind gusts here. Keeps a lot of the rain offshore. You're still going to have wind gusts of 50 miles an hour, and even over Long Island, 28-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Could be some scattered power outages. And again, let's not forget this thing always has the potential to be stronger than the models predict. So just remember that. It could wind up being worse than forecast. So it's not just going to be another nor'easter. It's just going to be a tropical storm. And it all depends on how close it gets and where it goes. And right now, we don't know. We don't have enough models agreeing with anything at this point. If we look at the rain accumulation here, this is the rain accumulation, and this is, I don't know how many hours this is, if this goes through. It keeps a lot of the rain to the south. This is the European again. You can see that. If the European happens, we're not going to get into the heavy rain at all. We'll probably be able to even go to the beach and look at the waves. But if the other models are different, like the Icon, let's see, that's, well, the Icon looks like it's keeping a lot of the heavier rain. Oh, okay. It does move it in later. And it moves some over the east end. Now, this is the Icon model, so we're now visualizing the Icon on here. All right. And again, if we go look at these winds here, this would be a big mess here at this point. But like I said, we are just too far out to know for sure. Please pay attention. I urge everybody to pay attention to the weather forecast because I think it's not just going to be, it may not just be a sucky wet weekend. It might be a very stormy one as well. And regardless of whether we see a lot of rain or not, there are going to be some major coastal impacts from Ophelia. So let's go to our smoke map here. We'll just do this last, and you'll see the smoke's pretty much staying north, though. It looks like a little bit might try to come in perhaps on Friday a little bit. It looks like it's trying to bring in some smoke on Friday perhaps a little bit, though we'll have the high cloud deck by then. So anyway, I think that's going to wrap up this weather update. And again, we're going to be watching the formation of Ophelia, I think, by Friday. We're definitely going to be talking about Tropical Storm Ophelia and perhaps even Hurricane Ophelia. You can't underestimate anything in this new warm world we live in. It's only going to get worse. So thank you for watching and have a good night.